Coming up on City Spotlight, we are on location in Paris. We'll talk with the mayor of Paris, Craig Smith, about new additions to the downtown area and the latest going on with major employers in Paris, NAL and Simonton. Then we'll talk with the new executive director of the Paris Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism, Linda Lane, about the latest going on with the Paris Chamber. And then we'll wrap up the program with a feature on the 38th Paris Honeybee Festival. We're on location in Paris, here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location for this taping, not in the studio. We are in downtown Paris, outside the Edgar County Courthouse. And we welcome back to the program the Mayor of Paris, Craig Smith.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Good to see you again, Mayor.
Thank you.
It's been a while since we've had you on. We look forward to catching up all things Paris. So we're taping this on October 2nd, just a few days before. We were here for the Honeybee Festival. We'll have a nice little feature on that at the very end. But Mayor, we are 3/4 through the calendar year as we tape here in early October. How's the year gone to this point in Paris?
Paris has been very active this year. We've had a lot of good things that have come to fruition in Paris. One is Lot 50. A brand new micro brewery. We have another new business right over here, Sweet Vintage, and they're opening. We have another a boutique is going to open and another coffee shop. So a lot of good things are happening downtown, which we didn't have a lot of things going on, but this year's been a good bang.
Okay, let's talk about a few of those. A brewery. Not every community, especially of this size, has a brewery. I understand the Lot 50 just opened. Tell us why that's here in Paris, Illinois.
Well, we had 3 young men that loved to make beer in their backyard, and they thought that they had a good product, and they decided, well, why not? They've been to some of the bigger cities that had microbreweries, and they approached the city to see if we could do any help with the TIF. It was right in our downtown TIF. We were able to help them with a grant. The rest of it is all them, hard work, hard labor, but they have had a packed house since they've been open. Something new. And it's something that young people, you know, the age group between 22 and about 45, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on downtown. Now we had restaurants and things like that, but this is brand new. It's something that they're used to seeing if they go to Indianapolis or Chicago or St. Louis. Now it's in downtown Paris.
All right, and I understand from talking with Brian Blair in our segment on the Honeybee Festival, they had added a little bit of honey and made a honeybee type beer for the occasion. So
it was a great beer, I understand.
Okay, I obviously did not taste it, but that's what I heard. Very good. Let's talk about another place that's kind of directly behind you here. I see Sweet Vintage. Tell us about that, please.
That's a great little shop that's also going to be perfect for young kids, perfect for parents, and it's another person who decided to take a chance in Paris, downtown Paris, and I think they've been very happy that they've opened up. There's a lot of activity downtown. There always was, with the courthouse being right here and this great old courthouse that we've all worked on to keep open. So there's a lot of traffic going through, and I think Sweet Vintage is going to really take advantage of that.
Okay, so that's on the south side of the square here. I'm looking straight out here past our main camera here to the Paris Theater, and we have a couple of spots here that you mentioned. Some new things will be coming there too as well.
It's my understanding that we have a boutique that's going to open along with a coffee shop.
Okay.
Another couple of ladies who've decided to take a chance on Paris, and we're going to make sure it works for them.
Okay, so we've kind of summarized the new things going on in downtown. Any other changes? Anything noticeable else going on in downtown besides the newer additions?
Downtown, that's about it. We're constantly working with downtown to beautify it, and so we'll continue with that. We've got a new bank has merged here in town with Mid-Illinois is now in Paris.
Correct.
But as far as the downtown area, those shops being open, now I understand that the Prospect Bank, which is right behind you, will be doing some renovations when it comes to flowers, parking lots, that kind of thing. So we're going to beautify the north end of the square as well. So there's always something going on. I think the biggest thing that's been going on is through our economic development. And we've had a major development with NAL, adding another building, making another multiple $1 million investment to this community, adding more employees. Symington Windows just announced that they're looking at a new line for Paris, which would add another 40 to 60 employees. So on the economic side, we couldn't have better things going on right now. Now also, you know, I'm a cheerleader for the city.
Cheer away.
Also downtown, only 2 blocks from here, the old high school. We hope to turn that into senior living apartments.
And this is something that the last time we had you on, you also talked about. So where's that headed?
Right now, we're having the Laborers Home Development Corporation is the corporation that's going to put it together. They're appearing before IDA in the state of Illinois to get some tax credits. If they're successful getting those this month, construction will start sometime at the end of this year with the idea that people will be in that within a year to a year and a half. 42 apartments for senior living right downtown where they can walk anywhere they want to. Plenty of things going on now downtown that we've talked about. It'll be a great senior living venue.
That's a healthy amount of rooms there. Sporting events have been held there as well?
Yes, we still have Evelyn Gym, so we're still having, the hospital fundraiser is going to be there. The junior leagues are still playing basketball there. The building just to the south, the vocational building, the City of Paris, NAL, and Lakeland have partnered and have now opened it to Evoke. And they've got their second set of students going through there now. So it's a highly successful thing going on downtown as well.
Lakeland College also has a branch down there in Marshall as well. So they're coming more over east here into this part of the area. You mentioned NAL, major employer here in Paris, for another addition. Major boost for Paris.
Major boost. They came to town probably about 13, 14 years ago. Promised that they could have 400 employees. Now they're over 1,400. They didn't have North American headquarters here, now they are. So there's another 200 and some people on the corporate side. So they've been a very, very big positive boost for us, and they're also a very good corporate citizen. They give back to the community, and they've just partnered with the hospital to open a wellness clinic just to the north of their plant. And it's the Easy Care, and it just opened about 2 months ago.
Okay, very good. A couple years ago when we last had you on, there was a lot of commercial new development there on Jasper in that area. What are you looking forward in the future? Any other additions, things you're eyeing that Paris could use?
Well, RP Lumber bought the property over there, and they're a very positive, again, corporate citizen. There's a new exercise building that's going to open up, and so there's going to be another exercise place for people to go to. And there's always, I think Monocle's Pizza just bought a lot next. They're planning on maybe having an addition to theirs. So we're never surprised that Jasper Street is growing because there's a lot of traffic out there with all the other retailers.
Any other building work, demolitions, public works things going on in Paris or have taken place that you could speak about that our folks at home should know about?
Well, we are constantly working with our new water system, trying to reach out and provide water opportunities to other people that do not live in the city of Paris. And right now we're trying to maybe partner with the city of Chrisman, that maybe we can work out something to get our water up there so we can supply water. And their Effingham Equity is now to the north side of town, and they have made a big boost for the county, and we're also working with them with our water. So we're constantly looking for different ways to help people with their economic needs, and all of this is really going through Paris Economic Development Corporation, which we call PEDCO. It's constantly working with new companies and old companies. We've always felt that the biggest thing we do here that's positive is we're proactive with the companies that are here. Once they're here, I think too many communities have a tendency to say, well, you're here, see you later. What we do is we're constantly talking to the existing corporations. You're here, what can we do to help you stay here, to help you grow? And so that's what we've been doing this last 4 or 5 years.
All right, very good. Since we last had you on, we've had several different groups here in Paris. PERC, been to the high school several times, Chamber, Foundation, many different organizations, lots of people getting things done here in Paris. Talk about all the efforts of the great organizations that you have in this town that make things happen.
Volunteerism, and I do say this everywhere I go in Paris and outside of Paris, makes a community like Paris really successful. And we are never short on volunteerism. We have people that serve on many boards and organizations, PEDCO, Kiwanis, the VFW, the American Legion, the Sons of the American Legion. All of these groups, the Elks Clubs, are very active. Our churches are active to try to get behind things that make the community grow. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk at least a little bit about our hospital. Our hospital has gone through 3 major growth with infrastructure buildings, and now they're going to open up a new dialysis center.
It has a new name.
And it has a new name, Horizon Health. And we're got an imprint all over the community and also outreaching with communities. Our hospital is probably a little different than most medical facilities, if you believe what you read in the paper, where everybody's leaving. They're not leaving Paris. We're having doctors come in, our services are growing, and our facilities are growing. So easy care, the dialysis, bigger and better physical therapy, a surgical suite, all of this has been added just this last year.
Before we talk about the Honeybee Festival, which we'll have a feature on here coming up at the end of the program, you are, Mary, you're at the end of your nearing the end of your 4th term, 16 years here in Paris. Where does Paris go from here, and what are you most proud of during your term as mayor here? Not that it's over or anything, but what are you most proud of what's been accomplished during your tenure as mayor?
I think that we've done a lot of things in 16 years, and probably vary the phases. We got very active early on in economic development because we knew we had to replace all the people that we'd lost when Zenith left many years ago. So we were successful getting NAL here. We knew that there was an issue with water. We used to drink water from the lake, and that was not the best place to get it, and it also was not an unending supply. So we have a new water system that's over in Indiana. We pumped it over here. That's a very big, major economic development. We all got together in the community behind the new high school. Now we have a state-of-the-art high school. We've all gotten behind the hospital through foundation donations and doing things to make sure it grows and we don't lose our health services. So that's been here. And we've also helped all the banks that have been around here to try to make sure they stay here. One example was City Hall used to be behind my shoulder. It was an old building. We worked out a swap with, at that time, First Federal, where they took our City Hall, raised it, and then built this brand new building, and we moved into their old building. So we like to feel that we are constantly looking for something around the corner. You don't want to ever look back, and that's so the big project we're working on now will be the development of the old high school and that 100-year building, turning it into a beautiful senior living apartment.
In our next, toward the end of the program here, we're going to have a feature on the Honeybee Festival, the 38th Honeybee Festival in Paris. Major event that happens annually in Paris, nearly 40 years. A lot of foot traffic, music, food. What can you say about the Honeybee Festival and its tradition here in Paris?
It's a great tradition, you know, and the Killians, who were the honeybee makers for all those years when I was growing up here, are still very active. Gene Killian, his son Mark Killian, I think Gene is almost 95, still playing golf out at the golf course.
I believe I saw him in a golf cart in the parade.
Unbelievable, and their impact on this community through the honey has been unbelievable. The city then decided, why don't we really take advantage of this and name it the Honeybee Festival? And 38 years later, it is the biggest successful thing that we have going on for a community as far as getting traffic in. If you were, and you were here,
yes,
downtown was packed. They've moved stuff out at the Edgar County Fairgrounds and the American Legion. There were vendors all over, people constantly coming in, taking advantage of our parks. It was just wonderful, and it can't be better for our community. It's a great thing.
Fantastic. Great catching up with you, Mayor. The Mayor of Paris, Craig Smith, we appreciate your time here on City Spotlight.
Nice to have you here.
Again, thank you very much. Been taping outside here at the Edgar County Courthouse, and we'll have more here on Paris and City Spotlight. First, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Paris. And we're back here on City Spotlight. We continue this on-location episode on Paris. We're still in front of the Edgar County Courthouse, and we welcome in this segment the new Executive Director of the Paris Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism, Linda Lane. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time and look forward to learning about what's going on with the Chamber. And you're a first-time guest of the program, and we'll learn about your role here with the Chamber. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Absolutely. I began my duties with the Chamber back in February of this year. Was very excited to be asked to be a part of the Chamber. Prior to being the Executive Director at the Chamber, I was four-time County Treasurer for 4 terms. Okay. So I like working with people, and this was just a perfect fit.
What are you most excited about with your new role here in the few months that you've been at it?
Well, we just completed our Honeybee Golf outing last Friday. That was a success. We have a lot of community support, so that is awesome. We are getting ready for our Scare on the Square the end of this month. And it will be, I believe, 5 to 7 on October 31st.
Right.
And the downtown, as well as other businesses throughout the town, will be giving treats to children.
Okay.
And then we also have our Christmas in Paris coming up, and that is the Saturday following Thanksgiving. So it would be November the 24th.
Yes, November 23rd and 24th, Christmas in Paris.
Yes.
And you mentioned the Scare on the Square, obviously on Halloween, the 31st. I believe it's on a Wednesday this year.
Yes.
Anything else you want to elaborate on those 2 activities? Tell us some of the things that happened on the Halloween event.
The Halloween event is an annual event, and it just gives children an opportunity to come downtown and to gather treats from local merchants. They also will have an opportunity later that evening to go trick-or-treating on their own, but it just gives them a chance to visit the downtown merchants and receive treats from them.
Very good. And I have a list in front of me of all the activities that go on with Christmas in Paris. A lot of things going on with that. Tell us about that event.
Absolutely. Well, new to this year, we're going to have a petting zoo.
Wow.
And that's really neat.
What kind of animals can we expect?
Oh,
possibly?
gosh, I don't know. Actually, the FFA at the high school is in charge of getting animals, but we expect a big variety.
So stay tuned on that if you show up for the Christmas in Paris.
We will also have an ice skating rink downtown that will be Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Of course, the big parade, and we think this year it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Lots of entries already have, committed. And then we also have, for the younger kids, we have inflatables. There are 3 of them this year that are going to be at the Rec Gymnasium on Madison Street.
Very good. A couple of events there coming up in Paris here on Halloween and also Thanksgiving weekend. In the previous segment, we talked with Mayor Smith about the newer additions to Paris and business-wise.
Yes.
Your chamber, you deal with the businesses in the community.
Absolutely.
And other businesses that may be coming to town.
Yes.
Can you elaborate some comments on the newer businesses? Obviously, we have Sweet Vintage just behind you.
Yes, Sweet Vintage is an ice cream shop. They were originally out on the, I believe, Belridge Road. And so they've set up a store here on the square, south side of the square. They serve ice cream of all kinds. I heard it was really good, but I haven't been there yet. They also sell local honey by the providers.
Right.
And then we've also got a coffee shop going next door to that
That's right.
business.
Right next to the Paris Theater here.
And then next to the Paris Theater is going to be a boutique, and the name of it is Sweet Bee or B-Suite, I guess, B-Suite Boutique.
So a lot of sweetness going on here on the square with Sweet Vintage, and yes.
Exactly. We also have the Lot 50 Brewing Company that just opened up this, late summer.
That's astounding. It's astounding that a brewery in the size of a community such as
Exactly.
Paris, what an addition.
Yes, has been very successful. Then out on East Jasper Street, we have a new business called Anytime Fitness.
Right.
So
Mayor briefly
we're really
touched
excited.
upon that.
Yes.
Very good.
I'm originally from Paris, have
Very
been born and raised here, and I love Paris. I'm very proud of this community. They have just been outstanding, such great people to support the community, and a lot of hard workers and volunteers.
Obviously saw that firsthand with the Honeybee Festival this past weekend. We're going to have a feature on that in just a second. Last question for you. Again, you're a native of Paris. You had a role as the county treasurer, now at the chamber. What are you most proud of the community that is home for you?
I guess I'm proud of the fact that we have such amazing people in this community, people that have been born and raised here, and even people who weren't originally natives from Paris. The chamber receives calls 2 and 3 times a week of people relocating and coming to Paris. So, I'm happy to send out welcome packets to them. It's very exciting, and I just think that our reputation supersedes us, and everyone is, very interested in our community. It's a great place to live and raise a family.
All right, very good. First time on the program, Linda Lane, Executive Director of the Paris Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. We appreciate your time here on City Spotlight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we'll wrap up this on-location episode on Paris with a feature on the Paris Honeybee Festival, the 38th edition, taped on September 29th. Stay tuned. City Spotlight is on YouTube. Past episodes can be viewed on East Central Illinois towns that have been featured on City Spotlight. Just search on YouTube City Spotlight with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the recent episodes of City Spotlight.
My name is Brian Blair. I am the Vice President of our Paris Kiwanis Club. I've been in charge of our local Honeybee Festival for about 15 years now. This is the 38th year of the Honeybee Festival. The Kiwanis first got involved the first year. We were serving pancakes, and that's been one of our major fundraisers that we raise money for our scholarships and other local organizations that mainly benefit children. In 1998, the organization that was running the festival, the Chamber of Commerce, decided that they didn't want to do the event anymore. So at the time we had 2 Kiwanis clubs. It was our Noon Club and the Early Risers. And we decided as a group that we would take over the running of the operations downtown for the festival, because that's where our major fundraisers were. We have a lot of volunteers that work throughout the year planning this event. We have a separate committee that handles our pancake tent that, we start about in July. We work on ordering the supplies and making sure we've got our tent and everything. But before that, we start planning the festival and getting vendors, sending information out to vendors. In January, we start getting our entertainment, because we have, on the other side of the square, we have entertainment all day on Saturday as well as Friday night, and this year we added Thursday night entertainment. The festival started on mainly Thursday with setup of our tent, and vendors started coming in. Food vendors got set up and approved, and we had entertainment for the first time this year on the other side of the square with the Troy Stone Band. The food vendors were open and got a little bit of business. And then Friday, they opened up yesterday morning. We had some vendors open selling their crafts and so forth. Our pancake tent's open from 6 to 1 on the Friday, as well as Saturday. Saturday starts out with the pancake tent again, and then at 11 o'clock is our parade, which is coordinated by the Paris High School Student Council. And it's about an hour and 15-minute long parade. We have a lot of participation from local community groups and organizations, and it's always a fun time. The streets are lined with kids, and of course they love the candy that gets thrown out. Right after the parade, we have our bands that start back up on the other side of the square, and they're going to go all the way till 10:30 tonight. We have a good variety of different types of music that's going to appeal to all ages. It's family friendly and it's free. The parade starts off, of course, with a military flag procession. Of course, the police escort it. We have our Kiwanis Parade Marshal that this year is Barbara Bergdolt. And then we have the high school band, the high school football team, which is 6-0 now, so first time in I don't know how many years. We're really excited about that. The community's getting behind them a lot. We've got 2 other middle school bands that'll be in there, and then we've got lots of course, all the senior, junior, sophomore, and freshman class floats that they have a competition, and so they're lined up, as well as visiting queens from other communities and from our county fair. We have our Honeybee Queen and Junior Miss that's going to be in the parade. You know, fire truck usually has football players and the junior football players, and then lots of cheerleading groups are in there, as well as a lot of local community businesses will put an entry in the parade, and it's a fundraiser for the high school. So that gets people out, and they're proud to support it.
Hey, is that candy?
I've been a native of Paris for 45 years. Our club has been around since at least 80-some years. We've been doing the pancakes, selling pancakes as a fundraiser in one form or another since like 1958. So we're talking 70 years that we've been cooking pancakes on the same griddle. So we got this nice big round griddle that rotates, and you know it's pretty vintage, but it's efficient. Ooh. This festival was started to commemorate a first issue of a postcard or something to commemorate the honeybee, which was pushed by local resident Gene Killian, because he has his own honey and raised it, and he was on a state Honeybee Association. So that really started that first year. It was a huge parade. It went all the way down and around. I mean, it was like a 3 or 4 mile parade. Now it's a little shorter now, but everyone looks forward to this festival. It's just a great time for people to get together and come back and meet old friends, and it's a great thing to be involved with. Paris is a very giving community. I mean, when they built a splash park several years ago with donations from the community, then another group got donations to build an all-abilities playground, which we helped with. It's just, we're a very giving community, and it shows. And in some ways, this is kind of giving back. Putting on this festival, it gives people something to do. The downtown is expanding. We've got some new businesses that are opening up. We've got a new brewery that's bringing lots of people in, and we have entertainment there this weekend. And they made a special beer, honey brown beer that was made with local honey, and they made it here, and just for the Honeybee Festival. So, a lot of groups work together to make this a successful event, and we're just really proud to be able to do this. And the Honeybee Festival, in just a few words, is a lot of great food, a lot of great vendors and crafts, and just a lot of good entertainment too. It's a fun, family-friendly atmosphere that appeals to all ages, from the young to the old. And just if you're coming through Paris in the future, it's the 4th weekend in September every year, and it will continue to be so.
City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.